Welcome to this presentation on metabolic acidosis. In this tutorial, we shall be breaking down the causes, the pathophysiology, the clinical features, diagnosis, and the types of metabolic acidosis together with their management. A metabolic acidosis is a primary acid-base disorder that is characterized by a decrease in serum bicarbonate levels, resulting in the blood pH levels less than 7.35. This condition arises from either an excess acid accumulation or a loss of bicarbonate. There are two main types of metabolic acidosis: the high anion gap metabolic acidosis, which indicates the addition of acids, for example lactate or ketones, and the normal anion gap metabolic acidosis known as hyperchloremic acidosis. The hyperchloremic acidosis or normal anion gap metabolic acidosis arises from a bicarbonate loss. We need to understand what is an anion gap. An anion gap represents the unmeasured anions that are normally present in plasma, and they are unaccounted for by the serum electrolyte that is measured in the electrolyte panel. To calculate the anion gap, we subtract the sum of chloride and bicarbonate from the sodium concentration. And then the normal anion gap is between 8 to 12 milliequivalents per liter, and this calculation helps us to differentiate between the causes of metabolic acidosis. What are the causes of metabolic acidosis? A high anion gap metabolic acidosis can be caused by lactic acidosis, ketoacidosis, for example in diabetic ketoacidosis, or starvation, renal failure, toxins, for example methanol, ethylene glycol, and salicylates. We use the mnemonic MUDPILES to remember the causes of a high anion gap metabolic acidosis. This mnemonic stands for methanol, uremia, diabetic ketoacidosis, propylene glycol, isoniazid or iron, lactic acidosis, ethanol or ethylene glycol, and S stands for salicylates, for example aspirin. Normal anion gap metabolic acidosis often arises from a gastrointestinal bicarbonate loss, for example diarrhea or renal tubular acidosis, and other causes include ureterodiversion, carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, and early renal failure. When looking at the pathophysiology, metabolic acidosis develops when there is an increased acid production, for example a lactic acid in hypoxic patients, or a loss of bicarbonate, such as in diarrhea or renal causes, or in a decreased acid secretion state, for example renal failure. These mechanisms lead to a decrease in blood pH, and the body tries to compensate through two main mechanisms: the respiratory compensation and cellular buffering. In the respiratory system, the body increases the respiratory rate to blow off carbon dioxide, leading to the development of Kussmaul breathing. Additionally, in the buffer system, the hydrogen ions shift into the cells in exchange of potassium, causing hyperkalemia. The clinical features that we see in patients with metabolic acidosis include deep and rapid respirations known as Kussmaul respiration, confusion, lethargy, fatigue, hypotension, arrhythmias, nausea, and vomiting. The diagnosis of metabolic acidosis involves an arterial blood gas analysis showing low pH and bicarbonate levels, along with the serum electrolyte panels for anion gap calculation. Additional tests may include lactate levels, ketones, renal function test, and toxicology screening. The management of metabolic acidosis begins with treating the underlying cause, for example insulin in diabetic ketoacidosis, bicarbonate replacement in severe acidosis, and dialysis for renal failure or toxic ingestions. And lastly, we need to provide supportive care in these patients. Remember to always calculate the anion gap when evaluating the metabolic acidosis, assess for compensatory respiratory alkalosis, monitor potassium closely, and consider toxic ingestions as potential causes in unclear causes.